Alright, what's up guys? Scruffy Tusks here, trying to help you low elo junglers get out of elo hell. Here's a video that I feel like you don't really hear a lot on. This is a scenario of the difference between macro play and execution. So like essentially what you plan to do in theory, what the actual strategic idea behind a play is, and the actual play itself. So I have two scenarios in this game, in the early game, that I'm going to go over. They're pretty quick. It's within the first, I think, like 6 minutes, maybe less. So we'll just jump right into it. It's something that I feel like a lot of low elo players don't understand, and it's also what's keeping them from actually climbing out of bronze and silver and whatnot, because they don't look at the greater picture. They're not thinking about the game plan in itself. They're just thinking about the results. They're not actually looking at what's happening. Because, for example, if I were to be playing on my Smurf in bronze, I'll do a lot of crazy shit. Like, I'll just go in 1v3, and sometimes I int, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get triple kills. And, but that shit's fun, like, I'll just do that in bronze just to fuck around. And honestly, it hinders me because it forms bad habits. And those things that'll work in bronze aren't going to work in higher elo. They're not going to work in, sometimes they don't even work in gold, but they're not going to work in platinum. They're not going to work in diamond. They're not going to work in, challenger, master tier, as master and challenger tier players know. But if I were to show myself going in 1v3 and getting a triple kill to a bronze silver player, they're going to say, wow, you're really good at Wukong. Holy crap, that was an amazing play. And then we get Baron off of it or something, or we get 2 towers or something. If I show that to myself, I show that to any other coach, any other higher elo player, they're going to be scratching their head at me and thinking, what? What was I thinking going into that play? Like, sure, it worked out for me, but what was I thinking going into that play? Reason being, once you play higher and higher elo players, and once you're playing against people who are actually conscious about their champion pool against other champions as well, like if this Yi knows this matchup, if Yi knows that he's stronger than Wukong early, then there's no reason I should have won this game. But I do. I end up winning this game because Master Yi actually makes a mistake here, and I get away with it. And the problem with that is it actually stunts a lot of players' growth because they'll watch their replays and they'll miss completely all these stupid plays that they're making, but they're getting away with because they're playing against really bad people. But once they go against anyone who's significantly better, then they just get stomped, right? And they have no idea why. They don't understand why they're losing so much. So we'll just go into it. There's also the mistake here that I make just right from here, just from starting blue side instead of starting red side. But I'm not going to go over it just because it's not the point of the video. So essentially we start blue, Master Yi starts red side. Master Yi already has made a mistake by going to Raptors instead of going straight for the Scuttle here. He should have honestly just went red to Scuttle, and then he could have did a full clear on his bottom side. Knowing that he's stronger than Wukong in the early game, he could have actually done that. Because he also would have had red buff. If he saw that I was starting red side, or I mean blue side, sorry, then he would know that I have blue buff and he has red buff. His red buff actually helps a lot more in his fights because it gives him a little bit more HP regen. It also gives him a burn and a slow on me. So he actually makes a mistake right away. I get spotted by the Scuttle right here. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that this was warded at the first part of the game. I did notice it later on, but okay. And then I noticed that there's a top lane gank that be had here because Cho'Gath is low as fuck. So I head top side. This is the first example. I guess I'll go over this first before I go over the second one. Um, this is not the example of things being really poor in theory and being great in execution. This is the exact opposite. This is a very good gank at the moment because of the scenarios placed on us. In a perfect world, if this Yi was a challenger Yi player, this gank would have never even been feasible. This wouldn't even be possible. But because this Master Yi did a full clear of red, raptors, wolves, and now blue, he actually put himself in a position where he can't actually respond to this gank. Because look at his mana. He's also a half health, and he has no mana. So if he runs in there, he literally is just going to be able to auto attack, and that's it. And he's going to int. So he actually can't respond to this. Just because of how bad he pathed. But that's what I'm saying. If I was against the actual challenger master player Yi, this wouldn't be a case. I'd be fucked right now. But because of the scenario placed in front of us, this in theory, this play right here is actually really good because this guy's free. This is a free kill. But unfortunately, the execution's horrible. So I'm gonna go over that. And that's the play. A lot of you, if you're Wu mains or higher elo player, I'm sure you're probably laughing at me at this. I bet even like silvers probably laugh at this stuff. This was horrible. This was absolutely horrible execution. I don't know why I decided to use my E so early. That's the big thing. That's honestly what sealed the deal of what this gank could have been free completely, like a free kill. I didn't have to do anything. This was effortless. He's already pushed up right here, right? So I want to essentially the how you want to go about it at first is just path behind him so that you seal his escape route. You could be worried the fact that Cho'Gath could flash on top of this Yorick and kill him, but it's probably not going to be the scenario because if he flashes forward or if he even autos and touches this Yorick right here, this cannon minion and these three caster minions are going to aggro him and he's going to die in about a second. As soon as he flashes, he's probably going to die. So in this scenario, the Cho'Gath only has one option and that's really to just retreat. But we can seal me being here, he should have been dead. This is he has no chance of living if I play this right. But I don't, of course. That's why we're going over this. First of all, I start pathing. Look at this. Look how I'm pointing and which way I'm pathing. I'm actually pathing this way. I'm pathing towards him directly and not behind him. So I'm not sealing his escape route. Because if we path this way, we can actually keep him from flashing away from us. He can just flash. Sure, if he flashes here, he goes right here or something, you know. But then I'm in auto range if I'm like standing right here. Second of all, he goes into the bush. We know that he's in the bush. What's the point of warding it if we already know he's in the bush, right? We know he's low as fuck, so as soon as he shows himself, I can kill him with like an E or even an auto E or something like that. And he has no way of living because he doesn't have enough mana to do much. He has enough mana to do his Q. So I ward the bush and I immediately E to him. The reason this is a mistake is because I could have just, instead of warding this bush, I could have just walked straight to here, right in front of the bush. And that would mean that I know I am guaranteed to be in front of this Cho'Gath. Worst case scenario, if I do this, instead of Eing to here, worst case scenario happens. I walk to here, he hits his Q without me seeing, and then I get knocked up by his Q. I have enough health to tank it. I'd probably get around to here from the Q. It'd probably chunk me to about here. And you know Cho'Gath can't kill me from there. All he can do is auto attack. So what happens here? He Qs me, and then maybe he flashes this bush. I'm standing right here. All I have to do is put a ward down here and then E to him. Or even just auto attack him. If he doesn't flash correctly, I could just put a ward here and auto him and then E. There's no reason for me to have to flash here, but I end up burning my E doing this, which is the biggest mistake. That's actually what allowed this guy to live. So that's kind of what I mean by like, there's two different aspects of this game. There's the game plan and the game plan and the execution. And both of them tie in heavily in what happens. Because this should have been a kill. This should have been a kill and I would have been level 3, right? So this would change the next scenario. This actually snowballs into the next scenario that occurs. Okay. Mistake number 2. I go for the scuttle again. This was still warded. We know Master Yi is on the top side of the jungle. And he's been farming this whole time as I was ganking, right? So at worst, or at best, in my scenario, I guess you could say, is that Master Yi might have just hit level 3 because maybe he didn't do his Raptors. Maybe he's just now finishing Gromp and that gave him level 3. That's still a horrible situation for me to be in the river right now because I'm level 2. I only have blue buff and I just burn flash. So I have no escape route. If Master Yi shows up here, he has flash on me. He has level 3. He also has road buff, so he can slow me. He can stick to me so easily and kill me. It doesn't matter that his health is lower here because he has his all of his abilities and I only have 2. And I didn't even take Q. I have my W because I was clearing wolves, right? So I should be a dead monkey here, right? But look what happens. Question mark pings right here. This is where this is where the Yi throws the entire game for his entire team. This was a free kill. This was a free first blood. It would have been a blue reset for him, and it would also probably would have got him level 4. And if it didn't get him level 4, he would have been at like 99%, right? So the reason this is bad is because, well, all the things I explained, right? I was level 2 to level 3. Master Yi should have killed me here. I should have been dead. And the reason being is because I showed topside. I showed that I was topside. And then I immediately ran to the river when the minion wave was right here. They saw me walking down into this river. They even see me doing the scuttle off of this ward. And Master Yi pings it, saying that, you know, be careful, he's doing the scuttle crab. Why does he give it to me for free? I have no idea. See, look, watch. He'll ping. Right there. Master Yi. But he gives it to me for free. He lets me get away with this. Which, a higher elo player is not going to do that. He's going to see this and he's going to be like, oh, free kill. Because Ahri actually has mid lane priority here, and Ahri can actually just rotate to him. She has both of her summoners. She has charm. There's no way I'm getting out alive here if Master Yi would have just instead of hitting this scrying plant and even wasting his time at revealing that he was here. He should have just ran around here and just fought me, and then just let Ahri close in on me. I would have been dead here. But because he let me live, I get level 3. I get to go straight back to my red buff. Everything's fine and dandy. Not to mention, he also pathed like a I don't even know. I was gonna say like a monkey, but I think I've been overusing that with the Wukong joke. But why does he path from his Gromp all the way to this Scuttle Crab when he doesn't even know this Scuttle Crab's up? He didn't know that the Scuttle Crab was up. There's no way he knew. Oh, I guess they did. There's a ward here. Someone warded. Never mind. All right, but still, even so, like he did his red all the way up to this side. So why did he path all the way back bottom just to get a Scuttle Crab? He could have, like, he knew I was top side. He saw me here. So why even do that? Why not just back and then go to your bot side, go to this, and then go to Krugs, and his Raptors would be spawning, right? Out of all the scenarios that he did, he picked the worst one, and that we ended up actually winning this game. Even though in the first 3 minutes I made so many mistakes. I made at least 3 mistakes, right? So I should have lost this game. I should have at least lost the early game too. I should have been way more behind than I was. And it's all because I'm playing against lower elo players that don't actually understand their matchups or really they're just not paying attention. I don't know. I don't know what it is. He's just not conscious that he actually can make a play here. I think a lot of it comes down to that he's playing Master Yi and he thinks that he can just farm in the early game and get away with it. Um, but we ended up actually punishing him because of it, because he doesn't punish us. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in that. So like, just because next time whenever you have like a game where you make a really risky Baron call and then it actually pays off because the enemy team just ints themselves at you one at a time, or like they just don't show up, go back to your replays, rewatch it, and actually think about it. Think about if it was actually a good scenario to do Baron. Did they have all 5 members up? Did they have like 4 members bot side or something? Did you not have? Did you have your waves pushed up? Did you guys have ults? Did you have flashes? Like, were you actually paying attention to your manpower that you could actually execute a play at Baron and a team fight at Baron and get away with it in more scenarios than not, or did you just was it just a fluke because you were playing against really bad people? You want to optimize your play so that your play is good against good players, not bad players. So that's all I have to say. This also is a video to kind of help me as well, and it's going to help me improve because it'll help ingrain in my head stupid scenarios that I actually put myself in. So I hope this helps you guys. That's all I wanted to say. Have a good day.